Okay, so right now I need to organize this huge mess. So I'm gonna get started with that right now. Okay, so today I'm going to be Plastidipping the Ford logo on the Raptor. So I didn't opt for the giant, enormous Ford thing because that was just too flashy for me, and it really isn't to my taste anyways, the design. And I was originally thinking to have this in like a blood red and to do a whole theme of that. That would actually take a lot more, replacing the brake calipers or caliper covers, and then a bunch of other things with the car when the theme is actually more of an orange or a blue, depending if you look at the shocks. And so what I prefer to do now, because the license plate I'm going to apply for, one of them is Shadow. And so I ordered a 20% black vinyl that will go over the back and the front lights so that it actually gives it more of a shadow look. And then with that being black, it'll really match the theme. But I'm going to still leave all the, I guess, chrome look. So I'm just going to be Plastidipping the blue. And because it's all different pieces, so this is just decal all the way around it. There is a gap, the Plastidip one sticks, so I'll be able to just peel it off. And then even with all the chrome pieces, they're all separate from the blue, so I should just be able to peel those off as well. I may have to do one or two or three tries, but hopefully I get on the first one. Okay, so the first step is actually cleaning this. It is completely full of salt, dirt, you name it. So I'm going to get a rag and start that. Okay, so if you can see it, I'm gonna zoom in here with the optical. Might not be that easy. There's a lot of just pieces from the regular rag, so I'm gonna finish it off with a microfiber to get all that extra stuff off. Okay, so the next annoying step is actually masking this, but it's a necessary one because we don't want it spreading anywhere else. Okay, so as I explained earlier, you can see that there is a gap right around the Ford logo. And then if you look closer, you can see that there's actually gaps around all these chrome parts compared to the blue. And so that's how we're going to be able to control the peel. Okay, so every time before you use Plastidip, make sure that you actually see that it sprays well. Because I tested this can and it gives me a lot of drops, and you do not want drops when you're doing this. Also, make sure the can is warm, not below the temperature it states. Since it's really cold out, I just put it in front of a space heater for a little bit, and it's nice and warm, and it sprays very evenly. Honestly, it's already looking pretty good, I've got to say. Just that one initial coat, but I think I'm going to put 4 or 5 to get it to an actual black. Okay, so I'm actually tempted to use my shadow Plastidip, but it's too late at this point. But what you want to make sure is that you let it dry. Give it time. You don't want to put a wet coat over another wet coat. Well, that does look fine in many cases, especially when you're doing like 10, 12 layers, like I did when I was doing wheels on my old car. It's actually just over there. When you're doing much simpler tasks and things like decals, you don't want to actually do wet on wet because that can create little dots and spots and give it a rough texture, and you don't want that for something like this. You want it nice and smooth. So I actually sprayed it a little bit too early, and if you can see there's a few inconsistencies. So this time I'm actually going to let it dry out completely, and then I will give it a third coat. So another thing I'm going to be doing is actually just, because until Ford releases their performance kit, I actually have videos on what will be released for the Ford Raptor and some things about the engine, coming straight from Ford Performance and a few other things. I'll talk about that in the next video. However, for now, these intakes lead to both of the turbos. And so, and you can actually see the turbos right over here. If you look closely enough, you'll see one that's right over there, right down there. And then there's also another on the other side. These are parallel twin turbos. But for some reason they put a giant airbox on here. And now this thing, don't get me wrong, it has a lot of room for airflow, but I mean, the Birdie's Raptor, they put a K&N 4-inch oversized performance intake on it. He probably created his own mount, but this is pretty solid as is. No matter what shaking I do, it doesn't really move much, and it's only about 2.7 pounds, the filter. So I'm gonna just pull out this entire airbox, even this here, have the filter right here, allow for all that extra airflow. And with this gone, honestly, the air, if this is collecting air, which it has to be in order for this to work, and somehow it works, I don't honestly know how this can get much air other than going through here, coming up here, which seems to be an inefficient system to me. The turbos will have a lot more breathing room with an open the performance intake over here, so I'm going to be installing that. Probably order it tonight or tomorrow. Okay, time for the third coat. This is the fresh bottle, still warm. I'm gonna warm it up in between this next set. Still good. So it's actually coming out really nice right now. It's a nice black. Honestly, I wouldn't be done with this round because it already has the shadow, but I want it to be a little bit thicker so that way it peels a lot easier and I don't have to worry about tearing. But I don't want too much because then in between the joints, peeling might not work out so well. Okay, so I think this will be the final coat. Just need to grab the Plastidip. Okay. Seems pretty solid. It's already a great color, even if I just leave it completely blacked out. Honestly, I might not even peel off the crumb areas. This is already looking so good. I don't even know if I do another coat. That's pretty sick. I'll do a nice light coat this time. That's gonna be it, because I still like the difference in color that you can see between the chrome and the blue, which now looks like a black. It actually looks pretty good, and I can still take off the area on the chrome if I want to after all this is dry. Okay, I think it actually looks to be about done. You can't see the blue at all. Maybe a slight tint if you look really closely. I can still peel off the silver, so I'm going to take all this off now. Let's see how it turned out. So you can immediately see the contrast difference between the gloss and the matte color. I'm a fan of matte, but I'm not about to Plastidip the entire truck because that's just going to be a waste, honestly, considering that if this goes off-road, which it's not, if it does, when and how many times, the Plastidip's not going to hold up. And I'm not about to redo it every time. But I'm also not about to pay the price of repainting this. So I put all that money first towards actual useful modifications rather than just the color. Either way, this color is not that bad. Okay. So time to peel off the outside. Oh wow, this is actually pretty thin. Maybe I should have put another coat just to make it a little bit easier. It's really sticking. Oh, there must be a little scratch there. All right, time to peel.
wanna go nice and slow. Make sure we get it off. There we go. This is satisfying to an extent. So as we can see, it's giving a nice clean edge over here. I'm going to keep it going slow anyways, just in case. Okay, I'm not actually going all that slow, but it's working really nicely. Last stretch. Nice and slowly. Oh no, we missed that part over there. That's not good. Nope, still missed it. Have to go back for it. And right there. Okay, got a tiny piece right there. We'll get that right now. Just come off like a nail. Come on, come off. I don't want to use it. Did I damage the side? I might have touched the side a little bit there. It sucks. But that's okay. I happen to think it looks pretty good blacked out. At this point, I'm still actually tempted to peel off the chrome on the outside because you don't see too much of a difference. It's very subtle. But for now, I think I'm gonna leave it because it's actually it's not bad because the color difference is exactly the same as you see here. Or it's very, very similar. The difference. It's the only difference right there is lighting. So if we check right here, yeah, again, lighting. Actually, this might be a shade darker than the color difference for actually Raptor is. To see the outside and the inside, but you still have that effect here, which is actually kind of cool. So maybe I don't touch it, but we'll save that for another time. Okay, so I would consider this project a success. It looks pretty damn good, in my opinion. And even though I didn't do exactly what I said I would, which would be peeling off the chrome parts, I think it looks pretty good anyways. I'm repeating myself. So I'm posting this video today because you see it today. Same day as I actually say today. Well, actually, technically tomorrow morning. Either way. And either day after or Monday, you should see a... day after and Monday would be the same day if you're seeing this tomorrow. But in the next few days, anyways, I'll be posting other videos on what Ford Performance will be releasing for the Raptor in terms of a performance upgrade kit. And also all the things I intend to do to it with the help of ADD, which is Addictive Desert Designs, which is a phenomenal company. Everything's made in Arizona in the US. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.